This is Omar Miller, and you're watching the 3-Point Conversion.
But obviously, the roster is a lot different than it normally looks like. What were some of the things that stood out to you and gave over your impressions? And you saw Summer League, but that is against.
Just Cam? You're asking specifically about Cam?
Specifically about Cam, and then what are some of the other things that stood out?
Yeah, Cam can score. We know he's a guy that can get to a shot and make shots. He made some tonight. But in general, just happy with the level of transfer from training camp. Guys, obviously, I've said before, did a great job locking in this week, and there was good transfer tonight, so we're pleased overall.
Steve, what did you see in LaMarcus in the 2 minutes he had?
I think he looked good. He had a good week at camp. He looks like he's moving well. Feels good, confident. Doesn't look like he's missed a beat. So, we're really pleased with him. And excited, one, just to have him back playing the game, to be back with us because we enjoyed having him last year. And it's icing on the cake that he's moving so well and feels good.
Did he say anything about how he felt coming out?
I haven't talked to him yet. They all did great. David Duke was really good. Did a lot of things. That Kessler too shows he can defend at this level and can offensive rebound and do some things with his athleticism and length. And Dayron, he's got some ability. He's a big guy who just got soft hands, natural rebounder, can finish on the basket, and showed I thought a little bit of being able to move his feet out there. And so all those guys did really well, and I'm pleased with them. They didn't get a ton of reps in training camp too, so I was really proud of them for playing the way and executing. More importantly, all the things we tried to get across in camp, they executed in the fourth quarter and having very little reps.
Have you ever seen a play where there was a review that long?
So it was a preseason game for everybody. Ironing out the kinks.
What would you want to see from Nick? I mean, I know you've said that he is at a good camp, but what would you like to see more from him?
It's hard when you get in foul trouble like that. Obviously, he got 3 offensive fouls and screens in quick succession, and that kind of ruined his night in a sense. But that's why we do this. Get out there, get your rhythm, your timing. He'll be better next game, and he'll keep growing. And we know what Nick brings. He's mobile, versatile, big, who can roll to the rim. More importantly, he's one of our best defenders.
Steve, just like from last year to this year, how important is it to actually have a training camp like this and get out and spend some time with the guys? They get together off the court again now. And
yeah.
How important is that for a team with aspirations like yours?
Yeah, I think it's great. We could, for a little more normalcy last year, everything was so protected. We weren't allowed to go out or do anything, and understandably. So this year, having a little bit more freedom and normalcy, I think it was good for the group, and just creates an environment, I think, that's more fun and positive than always constantly worrying about what you're allowed to do or not allowed to do.
Now that you're heading back, do you expect to have Kyrie at practice this week?
I don't have an update on that, so I really don't know.
Was that? I mean, having not had an update on that, I'm curious. Obviously, you said you're going to be smart and intelligent with how you were going to use minutes and how you're going to ease guys in. Was there ever any temptation, that, specifically with him, to give him some minutes if you have this long period of inactivity?
No, not really. I think that was never a consideration, really.
If he is unable to go this week or for a period of time, what did you get accomplished this week in California with him specifically?
I just think he was one of the many that were locked in and performed well all week. We're focused, and to a man, everyone was really good this week. So it was a positive week, but we got to put 2 more good weeks together before we start.
Go to Zoom, Christian.
Hey, Coach, 2 for you. First, what did you think of the LaMarcus and Paul Millsap pairing? You had them out there. I think you started them together and had them out there together for some time.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I think Paul brings a versatility, and LaMarcus obviously brings his skill set and as a true big for us. So, they're both intelligent, know how to play, can play off each other, even if it's not like a traditional look for our team. But they both had a really good camp, both moved well, played well, showed their intellect and skill set. So I thought they played quite well together, even though it's not something that we necessarily have, done traditionally, playing the two bigger guys.
Gotcha. And second, I mean, Wayne Ellington is one of the better defenders at his position in this league, and Cam kind of had his way with him. Did that surprise you at all, or are you expecting him to be able to get his shot against whoever's out there guarding him?
Yeah, I mean, I think like Cam's a scorer. He can score, and so he definitely can get to his shots. I mean, he's got a lot to learn and a lot of growing to do, but he starts with a lot of ability. So I'm not surprised. He has that type of talent and game. We just got to continue to develop him and teach him and get him up to speed with the NBA game.
All right, last one, Greg Logan.
Steve, I have another Cam question. Did he shoot as well this week as he did in today's game? And do you see him as having a legitimate shot to crack the playing rotation?
Well, we'll see about the rotation. We got a lot of veteran guys on this team. We got a lot of scoring punch on this team, so we'll see. I mean, that's a tough ask for a young player, but we love him. We think he can develop into a very good player. But I don't want to get ahead of it. But yeah, we know Cam's a shot maker and can make shots, can get separation and create his own shot. Those are the things that he did in college and why he got drafted in the first round. The other things, we got to continue to work with him so that he can get into a position that he understands how to play both sides of the ball, not just as a scorer, but as a defender, as someone that creates offense for his teammates, whether it's his movement off the ball or his decision making. So those are things that we want to continue to work with him on to develop. But we know he can score and he can get to his spot.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Well, this is your first preseason action with this team. What would you take with some cancer from some of the younger guys?
Yeah, I mean, I seen these guys all week, in practice, and I seen the work that they put in. So they've been putting in the work all week. They were, a little eager for this moment, and them getting out there and doing what they do. It was impressive. It's impressive, especially for younger guys to come in, first preseason game. You didn't see any nerves, not a lot of turnovers. Guys went to their spots and went out there and did their jobs.
Marcus hasn't had game action about 5 months.
Like he's a pro. He's the ultimate pro. He puts the work in. And when he gets on the court, man, he does his job.
I mean, is that impressive in and of itself, though, in its own way, that he looked like he had been away at all?
Yeah, he didn't miss a beat. He's had a great week of practice. We've all had a great week of practice, and we were all ready to get out there and play against other competition besides ourselves. So it's a great game from everybody. Great game from the coaches, and the energy was really good.
See a lot of new faces here, but does this team just at least been a week of practice? Do they have an idea of how they want to play? Like, is there been able to find that yet?
Yeah, we have a great idea on how we want to play, and that's for other people to figure out.
Well, you were just saying that you were looking forward to playing against somebody else other than playing against these guys. But what were the practices like with so many guys that have these great resumes? Yeah. What were those practices like?
Intense. Guys cheering each other on, and it's a great group. I'm just fortunate to be a part of this group. All the accolades in the locker room. Nobody has an ego. Everybody's in there, for each other. Everybody's in there to win. The ultimate goal.
We don't know what's going to happen when you guys return back to New York as far as Kyrie's not practice. You guys, but I'm wondering, what did you see in California?
Come and do a job. Just comes in and work. That he's a worker, man. He comes in and works every single day. That's just that.
We'll go to Zoom with Christian Winfield.
Hey, Paul, last season, the Nets weren't able to go big often because they didn't really have the personnel. And today they start you and LaMarcus out there at the 4 and the 5. Is that something that you guys worked on in practice? And what kind of impact were you guys able to have out there together in the minutes that you shared?
Yeah, I mean, we worked on different rotations in practice, different lineups. And tonight, it was pretty smooth. The way we play, we feel like we can try to implement anybody in the system and be successful. So, as long as we're moving and we're cutting and, we're playing for each other, it's going to look good.
Dayron had Dayron got the elbow from Dwight, kind of like a book on the NBA moment. So you get any ribbon on the sideline for that?
Nah, yeah, I mean, I'm glad he kept his composure. Just went out there and just, did his job and handled his business like he was supposed to.
Greg Logan.
Paul, Steve Nash talked about how tough it's going to be. As good a scorer as Cam Thomas is, it's going to be tough for him to crack the rotation because you guys have so much talent and firepower. How excited are you after the first week of practice regarding what you've seen from the depth on this team, and what do you and Aldridge do in terms of veteran presence for this team?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great energy. It's been good to see a lot of guys out there and get time and play. But you were a deep team, and we'll use that for the entire year. And whoever's out there, I think everybody's going to be supportive of it, and we're going to be trying to win games at the end of the day. That's what it's all about. So, and me and LaMarcus, we're just veteran guys, 2 of the oldest in the locker room. So we're going to help try to guide some of these younger guys and to what the NBA is all about.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate the
Yeah,
time.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
We'll have Cam
Thanks,
join us shortly. Go ahead, Alex.
Cam, we're in your first game as professional, non-summer league related. Just what would you make your performance overall?
I feel like it was solid, for my first game, actual game, against vets, against vets, playing with vets. So I feel like I did real good. I just want to keep building from there and keep it going.
Is there a shot or sequence where you kind of felt like you got into a rhythm? It seems like once you maybe knocked a couple down, from there you're pretty good.
Really just, I guess the one where I hit at the end of the clock in the first half. It was like shot clock was going down, picked it up, turned around, mid-range. I feel like that really got me in a rhythm, So really just that play, I kept it going from here on out, just stay in the rhythm, stay in the flow of the game, just want to make the right play.
Did that kind of take you back to some of the shots that you hit in Vegas?
Nah,
Or a couple of them on the way.
Nah, that's normal. Mid-range jump shots in the clock. No, I had a clear look. I tried to get up as quick as I could, and I did win it. Normal shot.
James talked about the other day about your scoring and how he noticed it in practice. I'm wondering, as a scorer, what's it like being in these practices? And you got Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie, 3 of the greatest scorers in the NBA. What's it like? Are you learning any tricks from them, or just by watching them?
Yeah, I learned a lot of tricks from them just by watching when I wasn't in the league. Just me watching them on their teams. Like when James was in Houston, that was where I really picked up a lot of his moves, tricks of the trade he did, where he draws fouls. We got a lot of that from he was in Houston. Even last year in Brooklyn, still watching him. And Kyrie, the way he was able to create his own shot in the mid range, all that. So really just watching little stuff like that before I even got here and seeing up close and personal, is even better because then you can actually, hands-on experience, even when you're guarding, it's hands-on experience. So you can really take some stuff from them.
What were the practices like this week in California with so many of these guys? As you look around, it looks like it could have been an all-star team from a few years ago.
Yeah, it's real competitive. Everybody's competing. Because in training camp, that's what you want. Everybody competing, everybody playing at a high level to get ready for the open night season. So really it was very competitive, and I really enjoyed it.
Greg, go ahead.
2 things from me, Cam. What does it do for your confidence to see that your scoring has carried over from college to the pro level, not only in summer league, but today? And then second, Steve said it's a big ask for a young guy like you to break into a high-powered rotation like this. And he talked about you have to learn both ends of the court. You know, what have you struggled at all on defense? And what do you think will make that transition happen?
I feel like I haven't struggled on defense. You know, it's the first time in the NBA system, NBA system. So you're learning. I'm learning on the fly because I'm a rookie. Because I'm playing with all vets, so they already know the tricks, all the different terminology and stuff. I'm learning it as I go. So I feel like I haven't really struggled. Of course, I have some mishaps because you're learning. So I feel like I really struggled. Plus, I mean, scoring is scoring. Honestly, I don't know why people always think stuff can't translate. I think scoring is scoring. If you can score, you can score. Doesn't matter who you're playing against. So that's it.
Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Cam, just was curious if you've already picked up some things from Kyrie and James and Kevin, just even, as good of a scorer as you are, just anything you've picked up or any lessons you've got from them so far.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up stuff here and there. I've been talking, me and Kyrie have been talking a lot, talking and stuff about little stuff. So, trying to take from him as much as I can, because it can help me in the long run. And he's also willing to help. So I appreciate that a lot. Really just, learn on the fly, watching them, just trying to learn like that. Of course, I'm gonna ask questions here and there, but I'm trying to learn as they play, me watching. So that's it.
Christian, go ahead.
Hey, Cam, good performance tonight. Was there anything that you noticed about how the Laker defense was guarding you that allowed you to get off the way you did, or was that all just you dictating what it is that you wanted the defense to do in the way?
Seeing that they was giving up like the mid range, so they was giving up a lot of pull ups. So you get in the mid range, that's your floaters and pull up game. And I feel like I'm really good at that. So they were just really doing that, and then they started to ice it in the second half. So it's either a 1-on-1 with the big, another more pull-ups, or either you just throw back to the big and get on a rescreen. So I feel like it was just, it was pretty much there. They was pretty much giving the mid-range up. So, take what the defense gives you. So
Last one, Alex.
They don't have the big fourth quarter for you guys. What do you see at him?
his energy, he was really on the glass, defending as well, running the floor hard. So I'm really happy for him. So yeah, keep it going from here on out.
Thanks, Cam.
Appreciate it.
I was just gonna say, after having almost a week out here practicing against yourselves, what was it like to actually have some live competition, be able to back watch somebody else?
Yeah, it was great. This whole week, it's been a great week just in training camp. Like Cameron mentioned, it was very competitive. Going and seeing, we have like 6 all-stars, from all-stars in the gym at the same time playing. It's like, that's a blessing. And to take bits and pieces from them and then, apply it to, somebody else who hasn't played against us, this year so far. I think it was very needed and necessary. I think the guys were excited because, we were playing against each other all week. We finally, got to beat up on somebody else. So it's been fun.
I see the Lakers rested some guys, but this is still a step up from summer league. Would you make your performance?
You said, what would I rate mine?
Oh yeah, would you make your play? Yeah.
I think, just the younger guys in general, stepped up and really transferred a lot of the, concepts and defensive schemes that we practiced during the week and applied it this week. I think we executed on offense, which was a big thing. Young guys coming in, sometimes it's easy to forget things, but I think with the group that we had out there, everybody was sharp, on point, getting stops, running in transition, a couple turnovers, but I think that that happens when you're aggressive. But yeah, I think the young guys really stepped up today for sure.
Have you thought at all about that open two-way spot, or are you just gonna play in another chip forward than that?
Regardless, whenever I step on the court, I'm going to play the same way. Whether I'm an all-star or whether I'm fighting for a 2-way, I'm just going to play. At the end of the day, it's basketball. You don't want to, change anything. What was got me here, I'm just going to use to keep going. So
like I said, whenever I step on the court, it's just basketball, and I'm going to play the same way every single time.
Chris?
Hey, what's up, David? I'm just curious if there's any players that kind of taken you under your wing so far throughout training camp, and then the preseason opener, if there's any of those guys that really have made an impact on you so far.
Yeah, one thing that's pretty unique, about this group is really just how all of the veteran guys, come up to you and really like coach you, and it's genuine, giving you pointers, from Kyrie, Katie, James Harden, even James Johnson, Blake Griffin, a bunch of the guys, whenever we need help with something they see, we might be confused, they'll come over, hey, like, do this, and that. Today, I was talking with James Johnson a bit, just he was always on me every time out, stay aggressive, keep going, just do what you do. So yeah, I think it's been like a nice balance between all the vets, leading me and the young guys.
Ajayi?
Hey, David. How has your approach changed from the summer league to now, considering all of the advice you've been receiving from the veterans and the rest of the team?
Can you repeat that question? Sorry.
Sorry about that. How has your approach to the game? How's that approach changed from the summer league to now, considering all the advice you've been getting from the veterans and the rest of your teammates?
I think my approach towards the game hasn't changed. I always feel like I approach the game, with a serious, mindset. I'm serious about winning, serious about, getting better, and just perfecting my craft. I would say I've been educated more on, certain things that, we do in the system. But I don't think my approach, necessarily changed. I think, like I said, I approach every game the same way with a goal in mind, which is win, and do whatever I have to. And today I just felt I did what I had to in order to help the team.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, man.